What's up, Eagles fans? It's your boy EROCK, and I wanted to make this video because on Sunday, during the preseason game, during the fourth quarter, just to entertain myself while I was watching Tim Tebow do, whatever he was doing, I started this conversation on Twitter about football jerseys, and more specifically, football jersey violations. There's people who show up to the games in a Freddie Mitchell or a Mike Mamula jersey, and you're asking yourself, what were you thinking when you got dressed this morning and looked in the mirror? Like, this was a good look? So it sparked this whole conversation, and people were either laughing at it or they were pissed off about it because they said, EROCK, I've had this jersey forever. I'm not going to get rid of it. It's in my collection. And nobody should ever get rid of a jersey in their collection, no matter how old it is. But somebody also asked, what's in your jersey collection, Mr. Know-It-All? And you know what? The thought never even came to me. The thought never even occurred to me to share with you my own personal jersey collection. Because, not to toot my own horn, but this might be the greatest Philadelphia Eagles jersey collection you have ever seen in your life. All the jerseys that I own are either game worn, game issued, practice worn, but all of them are directly from the athletic department from the Philadelphia Eagles. And I obtained these through various fundraisers and charities and different, Eagles Youth Partnership sales. But I've been accumulating this jersey collection for about 5 years. And again, you can't buy this stuff in the store. This is not something you can find online. These are directly off the backs of the players themselves. Now, some of them are superstars, and some of them are really cool. And then some of them are people that you haven't necessarily heard of or haven't heard their name in a while. But either way, I have like 42 jerseys here, representing a time span from 2001 to 2013. So that is over a decade worth of Philadelphia Eagles history. Genuine Philadelphia Eagles history that's sitting before me right here. Now, I know you're asking yourself, EROCK, how do you know that they're game worn? Besides the fact that they came from the Eagles themselves. Number one, you have to look, and I'll show you examples. You have to look at a certain type of tag inside of the jersey, and it'll always say made in Berlin, Wisconsin. All right, regardless of the manufacturer, and I have ones ranging from Reebok to Nike. It'll always say made in Berlin, Wisconsin. The other thing that you always want to look out for is the tag in the back. And I'll show you a close-up example of this. It shows the player's cut, the way they like their jersey cut, because these are all specific to the players themselves, all right? You'll see the DB and wide receiver jerseys. They're a little bit small, a little bit tight-fitting. Offensive line, defensive line, they're humongous. But it'll have the cut as well as the year that it's from. So again, all these jerseys are part of Philadelphia Eagles history, and I'm going to burn through them real quick right now. So the first one up, Jason Kelce, team issued. Again, cut to him. There's the year right there. This one is from 2011, and more importantly, this jersey is signed by Jason Kelce. Pretty cool. Now this one right here is your typical Reebok practice jersey. This one is number 69. This was John Runyon's practice jersey. And this one shows a ton of wear. Anybody that knows John Runyon know that he wore the same gloves that he wore the entire season. He didn't like to switch cleats. He didn't like to switch jerseys. But you can see some major damage, some major sewing up right here. So he probably wore this jersey the entire season. And if I remember correctly, looking at the date, this was his last year with the Philadelphia Eagles. 2007, team issued, Sheldon Brown. Now this one is cool. Because they could not have made many of these. I talked to one of the Philadelphia Eagles athletic equipment guys, and I asked him, how many jerseys does a player get issued a year? And normally, if he's not a big game, he gets 2 whites, 2 greens, 2 blacks, and if he really messes one up, they'll make him another one. Some guys need a lot of jerseys. Deshaun, for instance, he told me Deshaun liked to switch jerseys with an opposing wide receiver after every game, so he was just burning through jerseys. But I have 2 examples of a jersey that was only worn once. So if you think about it, how many jerseys made to this player could have been worn once? This is the Frankfurt Yellow Jackets jersey, 2007. Now, this is not game worn, but this must have been hanging up in Donovan McNabb's locker room right here. 2007, when they crushed the Detroit Lions, wearing these ugly uniforms. Donovan McNabb, Frankfurt Yellow Jackets, throwback. This one right here, Lido Shepherd, game used. How do I know it's game used? Because the nameplate has been ripped off the back. A lot of times when they're when they're burning through jerseys, when they have one that they just don't want to wear anymore, or it's not fitting right, they wore it during the game, it got all scuffed up. They'll take the nameplate off the back and sew it on another one, like another replacement jersey. So you know that this one was game used. You know it's number 26. It's from 2003, right? 2003, right there. More importantly, game used and signed by Lido Shepherd. Now, I said that not all of them are stars, or not all of them are players that we liked, but the reason why I have some jerseys is because I tried to get every single year, from 2001 to 2013. And this is the only 2012 that I could get my hands on. It is game used. There you go, folks. Bradley Fletcher. Look how the sleeves are cut. They're cut real tight, right underneath the shoulder pads. For as much as this guy got torched, I'm surprised this isn't burned to death, but it is a 2012. It's the only 2012 I own. Moving on to 2013, one of the hopefuls to replace Evan Mathis at guard. Team issued, not game worn. This is another one of those canary yellow. Jaquay Parker, he changed his name to Jaquay Thomas for like a season. Again, how many of these could have possibly made for the players? Now this one. Boy, oh boy, is there a story behind this one. And you'll know it when you see it. And the reason I have this one is because everybody can remember, all the Eagles fans can remember exactly where they were when they saw this red jersey sitting up at the podium. And this is exactly what you think it is. It is the Vince Young Dream Team press conference jersey. Now, they issue a lot of practice jerseys to quarterbacks, and this isn't the first Vince one that I've seen. However, it is dated 2006. So I asked one of the equipment guys, I said, hey, listen, I got this Vince Young red jersey, but it's 2006. I don't get it. And what they said is they signed Vince Young so quickly that they scrambled at Lehigh to get him a jersey that would fit. So they grabbed an old 2006 jersey, the only one with the number 9 on it, slapped Vince Young's name on it, and that, right there, is what they gave him to sit up at that press conference and say Dream Team. So while you might roll your eyes at the memory of Vince Young, it's still pretty cool to have the Dream Team press conference friggin' Vince Young jersey. This one's game worn. Again, not a big star from the 2006 season, Reggie Brown. This one shows a lot of wear, a lot of scuffs, a lot of repair work. Another Brian Westbrook, white away jersey. This one is from the 2008 season. I think this is game issued. I do not think this is game worn. Doesn't show any real wear and tear on it. But, you know, Eagles Hall of Famer. Now, I have a few Brian Westbrook game issued or game worn jerseys. But I'll show you one coming up in a little bit. It's probably the highlight of the entire collection. 2003, we're going back a little bit. Hollis Thomas, game worn. One of our favorites here in Philadelphia. 2003, same year as that Hollis jersey. Ike Reese, more importantly, signed by the man himself. Darren Howard, game worn jersey. All right, more specifically, it's one of the only jerseys that I have with the 75th anniversary patch. 1933 to 2007. All right, now this one is another one of my favorites. Clearly game worn. Name off the back. You know it's game used when the name's been ripped off the back. Because if it was new, there's no reason to rip the nameplate off the back. Number 58. Who was number 58? We just look at the tag on the back, right? 05. This is a game used jersey from Trent Cole's rookie season. Speaking of another defensive lineman, a good one, and a first-round pick, another one with the name missing off the back, game used. 2004, Number 90. Big old Corey Simon, baby. And you can see some marks on this jersey. Game use. This was out there battling in the trenches. 2004, the Super Bowl year. This one right here, David Akers, number 2. Game worn from the 2004 season black jersey. Again, a piece of that Super Bowl run history right here. This one right here, you know, it kind of makes me laugh a little bit. But it's from the 2004 season. I think it's game issued. But it was one of the biggest signings that we had that year going into that Super Bowl run. Now this is one of my favorites. And when I hold it up, you're going to say, EROCK, why is this one of your favorite jerseys? It doesn't make any sense. But there was a story behind this one. 2003 black Todd Pinkston jersey. This is game worn. 2003 was the first year that the Philadelphia Eagles ever wore black jerseys. They wore it once during the warmer season, and then they wore it again against the San Francisco 49ers at Lincoln Financial Field later on in the cold season. Very few times am I able to identify a jersey to a specific game. This jersey is the only one, let's see if I can do this on camera, is the only one with winter pockets. And the pockets are all scuffed up. Has winter pockets. And you can remember, if you're one of those like older fans, you remember that the jerseys, James Thrash, Todd Pinkston, and Donovan too, had pockets instead to keep their hands warm, right? So this was worn, and I got to look up the specific date. I'll put it down at the bottom. This was game worn from that game, the first year that they ever wore black jerseys. More importantly, I went back and I looked up the stats from that game. Todd Pinkston caught a touchdown pass from Donovan McNabb wearing this jersey. All right, here we go again. Black jersey from the 2004 season. Again, the Super Bowl run, right? Number 89, Chad Lewis. One of my older jerseys, 2002. Game worn, Jermaine Mayberry. This one's one of my favorites. Practice jersey, Troy Vincent. But you can see dirt marks and stains, and you can just imagine this is from 2001. So Troy Vincent is out there, you know, sweating it out at Lehigh and training camp, and he was wearing this jersey the entire time. More importantly, signed by the man himself. Another practice jersey, nameplate ripped off the back. You know it's worn. And this one is so worn that the shield even got ripped up on it. And this is from 2001, number 53, Hugh Douglas. This thing is tattered and sewn together and stitched and just a mess. New Eagles Hall of Famer, black jersey, Brian Westbrook. This one's pretty cool from the 2006 season. I don't think it's game worn, but it doesn't show any significant use. But again, it's cut to the player. So when you think of great Philadelphia Eagles quarterbacks, you think of Donovan McNabb. Number 87, Brent Selleck, tight end. This is a jersey from the 2010 season. Now this one's cool. 2004 season, home green. One of the most beloved middle linebackers in Philadelphia Eagles history. This jersey was made for him. Jeremiah Trotter, the Axeman. And this is from the 2004 season. That Super Bowl run. Trot comes back home. More importantly, signed by, and he put it on there, the Axeman. This is a team issue jersey from 09, Leonard Weaver. This is another practice jersey, Trent Cole. All right, white. Defense always wears white. Offense always wears green. And it is signed. Now this one, this might top the entire collection. I got this from the Philadelphia Eagles at their pro shop during one of their fundraiser sales. And when I saw it, I don't even think they knew what it was. But it is a practice jersey. All beat up and torn from 2002. This is Brian Westbrook's practice jersey from when he was a rookie, from when he got drafted. This was his first ever practice jersey. And this thing is stained. It is beat up. It is stitched up. And you can just imagine, you know, a third-round pick out of Villanova, an undersized running back, putting on this jersey and learning how to become one of the greatest running backs in Philadelphia Eagles history. I showed this to him, and he couldn't believe I had it. He asked me where I got it. And then he was nice enough to go ahead and sign it for me. This is another one of the cooler jerseys I have. Sometimes when I have the opportunity to obtain a jersey, I'm not looking for big names. I'm looking for the ones that are dingy, the ones that are dirty, the ones that really show that game use, because you know it was there on the field. And this is a Darren Howard jersey from 2008, and it is stitched, it is repaired, it is scuffed up. Another 2009 one, black jersey. I think this is game issued. It doesn't look worn. Broderick Bunkley. 2008 game issued. Asante Samuel, number 22. This, once again, Super Bowl run, 2004. I love getting my hand on these 2004 jerseys, man. And this one is a big one. Look how monstrous. This is a dress on me. And lastly, to wrap this whole thing up, because I'm not going to, you know, discriminate just the jerseys here. Anything game used, I want to get my hands on. So this is a game used cleat. You can tell by the numbers on the back. You'll see on television when they're warming up, if it's got the number on the back, handwritten number, it's game worn. But this is a cleat from Brandon Graham. And lastly, just to round it out, one last game used cleat. Again, number on the back. Number 58, we all know who that is. Under Armour, signed, Trent Cole, the Hunter, game-used cleat. So that is it. That is my jersey collection, and I have no idea what response I'm going to get to this video, whether you guys in the comments section below are going to say, EROCK, that is some really cool stuff, thanks for sharing, or you're going to say, EROCK, you were a total friggin' nerd. But either way, for the last 6 or 7 years, I've been gathering this collection up, and I'm very proud of it. It has stayed in boxes and stuff, and I just never even thought to show anybody, because inside, you know, you see all this antics on the camera, but inside, when it comes down to it, I'm just a fan. I'm just a geek. I'm just a football nerd, and I think this proves it right here. Hope you enjoyed this. This is going to be a YouTube exclusive. I'm not posting this on Twitter because I don't need them knowing how dorky I am. It's not going on Facebook. This is just for you YouTube guys. So, you know, if you got any questions about the jerseys, or, you know, where I got them, or, you know, what one might be from, or what's the story behind this one, feel free to leave it in the comments section below. I'll try to get to it. Follow me on Twitter, @TheMightyEROCK, on Instagram, @TheMightyEROCK, on Facebook, facebook.com/Eagles Tailgate Team. And until next time, let's go Birds, and I will see you for the season opener.